Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. You guys can tell I'm barefaced because today we're going to attempt the supermarket sweep challenge, and today's video is actually in collaboration with my friend, the beauty reviewer here on YouTube and also on Instagram. She approached me maybe 2 months ago about doing a collab, and we were supposed to do this collab a couple weeks ago, but then I think like 2 weeks before I was like, wait, what if we do this challenge but we do it Valentine's Day edition? So that's what we're doing today. If you guys have never heard of the supermarket sweep challenge, it was created by Spooky Lips and Fat Hips, I think that's her name. And basically you have 60 seconds to shop your stash. You can grab as much as you want, it just has to fit in a makeup bag. And I have to tell you guys, I already did this portion of the video and it was so much harder than I thought it would be. Like at first when I thought, oh, 60 seconds, I can do this, it's gonna be a piece of cake. No, I was like gonna go through and explain my choices and tell you guys all about it, and then like I just had to go because I didn't have enough time. So yeah, we're just gonna have to dive in and see what I actually ended up grabbing. If you guys came over from the Beauty Reviewers channel, hi, my name is Sydney. Usually I look a little bit more glam than this, but thank you so much for coming over and checking out my channel. I really hope that you guys will take some time, look around, and subscribe if you enjoy the content that I'm putting out. And I would really encourage all of you to go check out her channel as well. She does tons of Shop My Stash project pan videos. If you guys really enjoy those videos on my channel, you'll enjoy them on hers. So I'm gonna stop blabbering because I have a bag of makeup over there that we need to sort through and figure out what the damage is gonna be today. So without further ado, let's hop into it. Okay, just kidding. I forgot to tell you guys that I did film myself picking out the makeup, so I'm gonna insert that footage right here. All right guys, so here is the bag that I chose. I chose a pretty big bag because I have a pretty large makeup collection. I'm also just holding my camera, so I hope this footage turns out okay. I apologize if it's a little shaky, if it's a little all over the place, but I wanted to really show you guys the products that I was choosing and kind of my thought process behind those products. Okay, so I'm going to set the timer on my watch. Let's see if I can do this one-handed. Okay, we're going. Okay, so I'm gonna go in order of how I would apply the product. So I need my corrector, I need eyeshadow, primer, I need foundation. Here's my foundation. I don't really need a primer super badly. Okay, so now I need some setting powder. Okay, this is my setting powder. This is the Wet n Wild Color Icon Bronzer, but oh god, I only have 30 seconds left. Okay, but that doesn't fit in there because it's open. I have my Essence setting powder. I'm gonna grab some eyeshadow palettes. I want this one, and then I definitely want my Huda Beauty New Nude palette. Where did I put that? Oh my god, I only have 20 seconds left. Okay. Okay, Huda Beauty New Nude. I'm just gonna grab my e.l.f. palette because I know that has everything that I need in it. Oh my god, I don't have brow products. There's a mascara. Here's some brow products. I need lip products. Oh my god, this is so much more stressful than I thought it would be. Here's a bronzer. Okay. There is the timer. So here are my products. Let's chat about these a little bit more. So let's get into the look that I'm going to create today and see what I actually ended up grabbing in this bag. So you guys know the drill. If you've been on my channel before, we always start with the eyes when I do my makeup, and I actually managed to grab the MAC paint pot in the shade Soft Ochre. This one's in my project pan, so I'm glad that I was able to grab this one so I can get another use out of it. But I'm just going to take my sponge and get some on the very tip of it, and I'm going to start applying this to my eyelids just to prep the eyes for eyeshadow. I am going to do one eye on camera with you guys the first go around, and then I'll go on camera and do the second one just for time's sake. So I grabbed a pretty large makeup bag because I feel like I have a larger collection, and so I was able to throw actually 2 palettes in, and I kind of semi-planned this out. I feel like that's cheating a little bit, but this morning I was thinking, I'm like, what palettes do I want to grab to create a Valentine's look? And the first one that came to mind was my Huda Beauty New Nude palette, and then I also thought of grabbing my Little Persona palette. My Persona palette was like my backup palette if for some reason there was some kind of restriction that I could only use a super tiny bag, but I was able to use my big bag, so I grabbed both of these. So we're gonna use both of these to create an eye look today. So I think what I want to do is I want like a really defined crease, but like a soft lid with maybe a little sparkle. Did I grab anything with sparkle? I don't know. We're gonna have to see how this turns out. I guess this palette has some sparkly shades in it. But I think we're going to start out by defining our crease. So I want to start out by taking the shade Love Bite right here. And I'm just taking this on a little brush from ColourPop. This is the E1 brush. And I actually really love this brush from ColourPop. I don't own too many brushes from them, but I won this in a set from a giveaway and I thoroughly enjoy it, you guys. So I'm going to start applying this as directly into my crease as I can. and I'm just gonna kind of build that up. I'm also placing that in the outer corner a little bit. We may end up going and cutting the crease. Oh, I didn't grab concealer. We'll do it with my paint pot or foundation or something. I'm kind of basing it off this look that I saw on Instagram I feel like that was a couple months ago, but I was searching for some Valentine's Day look inspiration the other day because I have been putting up a couple of Valentine's looks on my Instagram, and I'll insert those right here if you guys want to see. But if you want more information on those, head over to my Instagram. I did a tutorial on one of them, and then the other one I just shared details. But this look that I saw on Instagram had just a really pretty defined crease. I feel like this might be more purple than the shade that they used, but it's fine. We'll make it work. Okay, so now I'm going to dip into my Persona Color Theory palette in the shade Pink. And I'm going to dip into the shade Pink right here. And I'm just taking this on a Morphe M433 brush. And I'm going to use this to kind of, blend out that purple shade. I'm kind of just running it directly over and a little bit above the purple. Just trying to soften up those edges a little bit. And then I'm going in with a bare fluffy brush just to further blend that pink out. Okay, now I'm trying to decide what I want to put on my lids. I really wanted something kind of light and maybe not baby pinkish, but I really wanted something sparkly, but both of the glitters in this palette are quite deep, so I'm kind of thinking of going in with the shade Fantasy or even Daydream over here. Oh, those are both gorgeous. Daydream is much more taupey than I thought it would be. Okay, maybe I'm gonna mix those two. Oh, and luckily, by some stroke of luck, I ended up throwing in my NYX glitter primer, which is like my saving grace when it comes to eyeshadow. Because my eyes are so hooded, everything transfers up into my crease. So I'm just going to use a little bit of this and a packing brush from ColourPop. This is the E3. I'm just going to take a little bit on my brush, and I think I want to start in the inner portion of my lid. Just kind of applying this in a cut crease shape. I'm taking it about halfway across my lid. I'm gonna dip into the shade Daydreamer right there, and I'm just gonna apply it right over top. Oh, do you guys see how intense and metallic that is? I'm gonna dip back into the glitter glue really quick with the same brush and just kind of pat that over the remaining portion of my lid again in kind of that cut crease motion. And now I'm going to dip into the shade Fantasy. I'm not sure if I'm loving how those are coming together. I'm going to dip back into Daydream a little bit and just kind of further overlap Fantasy. I feel like Fantasy is almost warmer than my outer corner, so it's not quite coming together how I thought it would. I'm going to dip back into the shade Love Bite right there on just that same ColourPop brush. I'm going to kind of tap over the outer corner again. I don't know, you guys, I'm feeling super just kind of meh about this eye look. It's not bad, it's just nothing crazy special. I'm really dying to like pop some glitter in that inner portion of my crease right there. Maybe I'll do that when I'm done filming this video because I do have a couple to film after this, but this is what we're working with right now. Sometimes I like it better when it all comes together. So I think we should move on to face. So to start out with, I'm going to go in with my Catrice Camouflage Concealer. This is my color corrector. I'm so glad that I grabbed this, even though I didn't manage to grab a concealer, because I could not live without this product, you guys. It is the only thing that really covers up my dark circles. And then next, I'm going to go in with foundation. I grabbed my Makeup Revolution Conceal and Hydrate Foundation. I'm so glad I grabbed this one because this is, again, one of my favorites. I'm going to take about a full pump of this. Usually I'd go in with about half to like 3/4 of a pump, but since I don't have concealer, I'm gonna have to build this up on my problem areas and then also use it under my eyes a little bit. So I'm just gonna blend that in with my sponge. Just kind of taking my foundation up a little bit under my eyes. Usually I avoid my under eyes because I don't want to cake on too much product under there, but again, since we don't have concealer, I'm just kind of spreading it around a little bit more. So next I'm going to go in with some setting powder, and I'm going to take my Essence All About Matte setting powder. I'm just going to take this on a little teeny tiny brush from BH Cosmetics. So this is the number 6 brush from their Marble Luxe collection. And then I'm going to go in with a little bit of this powder. I'm sorry if the light is going in and out, you guys. I have a window right there. And the sun seems to be going in and out of the clouds right now. Also just setting my smile lines. And then with a bigger powder brush, I'm just going to gently set the rest of my face. Alright, so now we're going to move on to highlighter. And did I manage to grab a highlighter? Maybe. I think there's a highlighter in this e.l.f. palette. Yeah, there is. That's just not my favorite highlighter. I like something a little more of a bam. Let's look in the Huda palette. I think all these are going to be too dark for me, unfortunately. Okay, so we're just going to go in with the one from the e.l.f. palette. And to apply that, I'm just going to go in with a little floppy Morphe highlighting brush. This one's from their Copper Dream set, which I don't think you can even buy anymore. And I'm going to pack this on to my cheekbones. This highlighter is, oh wow, it looks like super blinding, I think, on the camera. I don't know, there's a light shining right in my eye. This highlighter is on the more subtle side in person. It's also too dark for me, so that's also not great. But it usually ends up looking okay once I put on blush and bronzer. So I'm just going to go in with the blushes that are in this palette. I'm just going to mix the two together. I'm going to apply those to my cheeks. These are totally the wrong shade of blush for this look. Oh, I just got like panicked like halfway through. I'm like, I'm just going to grab this palette because I know it has blush, bronzer, and highlighter. So if the timer goes off, like right now, I'm good. I'm covered. So I did manage to grab another bronzer, and that's the Balm Bahama Mama bronzer. And I am just going to use this one instead of the one in the palette because this one's in my project pan. And as I said with my MAC paint pot, if I can get a couple more uses out of my project pan items, you bet your bottom dollar that I'm going to. So I'm just taking this on a big, fluffy, Wet n Wild brush. I'm going to start applying this to my cheeks. I'm not going to go super heavy with the bronzer today. I don't really want a super bronzed look. I'm just really looking to add some warmth back to my skin with this bronzer. And of course, warm up my neck. So now I'm going to go in with a little bit of a finishing powder. And for that, I'm going to take my Wet n Wild Color Icon Bronzer in the shade Reserve Your Cabana. This is again in my project pan. I tried to grab as many project pan items as I can because I'm actually doing 3 4-month-long projects this year, so I have much less time to work on the products than I normally would if I was doing a year-long project pan. So I'm trying to get little uses in everywhere that I can. I'm just kind of dusting this over my whole face. This is going to make everything look super airbrushed and give our skin a really nice kind of satiny finish. It's definitely not shiny, but I think it just adds so much life to the skin. And I don't know about you guys, but when I create a Valentine's Day look, I want to look like myself, but really glam. And my skin is not matte most of the time. It's not completely matte most of the time. Most of our skin isn't completely matte. So I think adding this nice little sheen just makes it look a little more fresh and a little bit more natural. Okay, you guys are gonna laugh when you see how many brow products I grabbed. I have all of my brow products stored in one little spot on that spinning organizer that you saw, and I literally just grabbed all of them. Okay, not all of them because I didn't grab a brow gel, but I grabbed all of my brow pencils. Okay, so here's the problem with this. So this one is too dark for me. This one is empty. I just keep it for the spoolie, but I do have these two. So I think I'm actually going to work with the CoverGirl Easy Breezy Draw and Fill Brow Pencil. Influencer actually sent this one over to me. I've been testing it out for a couple days. I like it so far, but I haven't really made up my mind about the powder side of it. But I'm really enjoying the pencil side. It's kind of that wider, more like angled tip, if you guys can see. And personally, I really enjoy that because I don't really have to create my brows from scratch. I've got a lot of brow hair already there. I just feel like they need a little bit of sculpting. And then the second half of this product is a little, like, it looks kind of like an eyeshadow sponge, but there's powder on the tip. And then I think you're supposed to run this through your brows to help further fill them in. Okay, so now it's time to finish off the eyes, and I'm just gonna dip back into my Huda Beauty palette. I'm gonna dip back into the shade Love Bite right here, and on a little flat definer brush, I'm just gonna run that on the very outer portion of my lower lash line. I'm not taking this in very far at all because I want a really like wide-eyed kind of doe effect on the eyes. Doe-eyed effect on the eyes. And then I'm just going to take this little shader brush. This one's from Coastal Scents. And I'm going to dip into the shade Tickle right here. And I'm just going to run this under my lower lash line. I don't want my lower lash line to be too dark. I'm okay if it's a little smoky, but I'd like it to be like light smoky, you know? I want this look to be a bit more lighter and romantic and a little flirtier than the other Valentine's Day looks that I've done. And then I'm just going to take a bare fluffy brush and run that over the edges. Next, I'm going to take the shade Crave right here, and I'm just going to take this on my e.l.f. small precision brush, and I'm going to pop this in my inner corners. I know it's a little bit too dark to truly be brightening, but it is very reflective, and it does add a little bit of sparkle to that area of the eye. I'm also applying just the teeniest bit of that shade to my brow bone. Oh my goodness, I didn't grab a setting spray. Okay, so I guess I'm not going to set my face, which feels so weird. I think my skin still looks pretty good, but I've just got so in the habit of using a setting spray every single time I do my makeup So now it is time for mascara, you guys, and this is another newish product to me, which I slightly regret grabbing, but I'm kind of excited because I'm going to see how much I can build this mascara up, and that is my CoverGirl Exhibitionist mascara. Again, this was one that influencer sent me. This is the uncensored kind, so I think it's their new one, but I have a feeling this is going to take a little while to build up, so I'm going to hop off camera, build it up to however much I want, and then I'll come back and we'll do lips. You guys, I have to say, as much as I was groaning about that mascara, I feel like it gave me really nice lashes. This is about 3 coats, so I did have to build it up quite a bit, but I feel like my lashes look pretty good, so I'm actually pretty excited about this mascara. I am planning on doing a full, I don't want to call it video, I think I'm going to do like an IGT video on the CoverGirl products that I was sent and kind of give my thoughts in there. But keep an eye out for that. Make sure you're following me on Instagram. Okay, so now it is time for lips, and I managed to grab 2 different lip products. The first one was another one from CoverGirl. This is their Exhibitionist lip gloss, and this is the shade Tiger Eye. It's this beautiful shiny nude pink. It's gorgeous. And then I also grabbed this Bite High Pigment lip pencil in the shade Sable. So I think I'm just gonna layer these. I was hoping for something a little bit more pinky, but this is what I grabbed, so this is what we're gonna work with. For some reason, I had it in my head that this Bite shade was much more peachy, but there is quite a bit of pink in it, so I'm excited about that. And then I'm just gonna go in with a little bit of the gloss. This gloss is super duper sheer, so that's probably not gonna change the color at all. Yeah, definitely not what I would probably pair with this eye look. I'd probably go something with a little bit more depth, and again a little bit more pink. But I think that's gonna wrap up this video, you guys. I hope that you enjoyed it. This was a really fun challenge, so thank you so much for the beauty reviewer to reaching out to me and asking if I wanted to collab. This was a fantastic idea. Make sure to go check out her channel, you guys. I'll have her channel as well as her video linked down below, so you guys can go check it out. Let me know in the comments below whether or not you guys have attempted this challenge before. Even if you guys don't have a YouTube channel or an Instagram or anything like that, I highly suggest trying it. It was super duper fun. I think the original challenge is kind of like you're supposed to grab like all the makeup products that you would grab if like your house was on fire or something like that, but I thought this was a fun little twist, so let me know that in the comments down below. But that's gonna wrap it up for today. Thank you so much for watching. Again, if you came from the Beauty Reviewers channel, thank you so much for taking the time to check out my channel. I hope that you'll stick around, but I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye! Oh no, where did you go? And I'm gonna use this brush, but it's dirty. I'll swipe it off on here.